Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so we got the Pelicans and the Lakers tonight, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And as you know, we're down some people. The injury report is not all that favorable to the Lakers. Austin is expected to miss this game tonight. Rui's still out. Jordan Goodwin's still out. So that's the bad news. Markieff Morris saw in the injury report just now. Let me see. Yeah, he's out also. Markieff Morris out. Luka game time decision. Braun game time decision. Kleber, of course, out. So we were laboring. That's what's happening. The team is not healthy right now, but we'll be running some players out there that I'm sure will, get the job done. I mean, that's what it's been. Next man up mentality for this team. Pelicans are a bit more healthy. Of course, they have two big time players out in DeJounte Murray and Herb Jones. They will be out for the season. But everybody else that they have suited up is expected to be healthy enough to go. So that is not great for the Lakers at all, given the fact that we're down half our damn team and we're really not sure who's playing tonight. So the Pellies, as I mentioned in a video that I made about 2 hours ago, talking about how I'd done homework on this team. The Pellies played some of the same teams over and over again. And if you take a look, I just want to encourage everybody to take a look at their schedule. You suddenly don't feel so bad about your own. I mean, they have been just brutalized by the ridiculousness of the NBA scheduling because they're not a team on national television. They're not a team with a whole lot of irony attached to them. So they put them on the back burner, and some of these other teams that are not really that good or expected to be big draws, they put them on the back burner and have them playing some of the most ridiculous schedules. So what you see here is in February they had to play Denver twice in a row. And they played Sacramento 3 out of 4 games, just like we had earlier in the year. Then they followed that up with 2 games against San Antonio, 2 games against Phoenix, and then we got us coming up here, Utah splattered in there. And then I think this process continues for them. They got Houston after us twice. Somewhere down the road, they got Minnesota twice. So they just been hit with a lot of nonsense throughout the course of their season, man. And, I don't think that's an excuse for why they are a bad team, with a bad record, rather, 17-44. But I will say that it didn't help matters, that they had such a ridiculous, just grueling schedule to actually play. So that's what I will say about the Pelicans. Of course, they just got bit by the injury bug real bad early in the season. Just about every starter they had got hurt pretty much. Zion wasn't ready to go. You also had situations where, Brandon Ingram's had significant injuries. They traded him to Toronto. So, it's just a different team that the Pelicans have right now. But as of right this second, they have won 4 out of their last 5 games. In fact, I think it's more like 6 of their last 7 games. They've only lost to the Phoenix Suns in one of those duo games, whatever you call those, and they lost to the Dallas Mavericks as well. So they've been winning, man. They've been winning. They haven't played anybody. And the previous game they're coming off of was against the Jazz, a 128-121 matchup, where the Utah Jazz pretty much ran all of their hopefuls, young players. I mean, they started KJ Martin and Johnny Juzang. That should let you know how that went for them. Bryce Sensabaugh walked away with 21 points in that game. Filipowski almost had a triple-double, 12 points, 7 assists, 11 boards. Keontae George had 28 points and 6 assists off the bench. Tishabwe, I don't even know who that is. He had 16 points and 13 boards, so I'm definitely going to get to know who that is for the Jazz, 8 and 9 in that game. So he had a complete breakout game. Oscar Shabwe, I guess how you say it, I don't know, but he looked pretty good in the highlights. But that's kind of who the New Orleans Pelicans gave 121 points up to in their previous game. So the Pelicans defense isn't really handling business right now, to say the least, and I think that's where we're going to attack them. We got to score points and defend them. They did score 128 points. Utah's not exactly a great defensive team, but the point is, what you'll see here is that the New Orleans Pelicans offense has been really kicking. Kelly Olynyk had a big game against his old team, Utah, 10 of 14 from the field there, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. Zion, who's in great shape right now, 11 of 18 from the field, 24 points and 9 assists. His assist game is up too. Don't forget that this guy can really make plays happen. He makes good passes. 2 steals go along with that. Yves Messi had 8.7 boards. CJ McCollum shot pretty well, 5 of 12 from the field, 10 of 18 from the field, rather 5 of 12 from behind the arc. 25 points, 8 assists, and 3 boards there. Trigger Murphy, the third, 20 points, 2 steals, a block, and 6 assists and 6 boards. He filled it up. 3 of 13 from behind the arc, though. Not great there. And they got some stuff from the bench, man. Bruce Brown is getting healthier by the second. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists. Jordan Hawkins had 8 points, 3 assists. And Karlo Matovic is somebody we need to get to know. Karlo Matovic will be on the floor a lot. I'd imagine he's a center for them. But they really like him a lot. 20 minutes to play, 3 of 5 from the field, 6 points, 5 rebounds. So they think they found something. 2 blocks as well for Karlo. They really, really like him down there in New Orleans, and I'm pretty damn certain he's like a pet project for them, to where they're going to try to make him a guy like a Austin for them or something like that, come out of nowhere, develop through their program. That's what I guess they're doing there with him. So that's what happened in the last game against the Utah Jazz. Essentially, the New Orleans Pelicans shot 52% from the field to the Jazz 47%. 36. Both teams shot around 36% from the field. The three, excuse me. Both teams attempted 44 threes, which is something we got to understand about the New Orleans Pelicans. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. They have plenty of talent for that. They won the boards. The Pelicans did 48-41, 13 offensive rebounds for them, and didn't turn the ball over that much. 11 turnovers in total, 10 points off of that. 13 given up by the Jazz with 13 points off of that. The Pellies won in the paint, 76-56, and got them in the fast break, 17-11. And so that is really the gist of what that game was. Pelicans take the victory from the lowly tanking Jazz. The previous matchup was one of the Phoenix games, the losing Phoenix game, where they scored 108 points and gave up 125. And essentially, they had 6 players in double figures for the Pelicans. Kelly Olynyk had 11 points, 5 assists. Bruce Brown had 10 points, 2 steals. Yves Messi went for 24 and 5 with a block attached to that, 11 of 14 shooting. That's the type of night I'd expect he would have against our center position, so we need to be very wise. I don't see that Zion played in this game, so he made up for a lot of that. Jordan Hawkins had 24 points, 3 steals, 4 assists. Antonio Reeves, I believe that's who that is. He had 11 points in this one. Is that Antonio? Yes, Antonio Reeves. I believe he's a rookie out of Kentucky. Not really sure, though. But he did some things. Jose Alvarado, I figured it would be wise for me to just get into, before I even started this video, telling people to catch Jose Alvarado on the inbound, because you know he's going to try to catch you slipping. So we don't ever want to be caught off guard by Jose Alvarado. He will try to steal an inbounds pass or two. He is sly as a fox. He's one of the most dangerous point guards coming off the bench in the entire league. And I just know what he's going to try to do to us tonight. So look out for the steals. He had 3 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds in a bad shooting night there. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from behind the arc there against Phoenix. And the Karlo guy did not shoot well, 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 2 from behind the arc for 2 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist in this one. So JRE, Robinson Earl, 4 or 5 from the field, 9 points in 15 minutes of play. They probably should have gave him more shots shooting that well, 1 or 2 from behind the arc. And that's the gist of what it is, man. Jamal Cain had a 3. He had a shot and had 3 steals there. So Jamal Cain with the defense in a losing effort. Bobo had 25 points, 2 blocks in this one. This was a Bobo extravaganza, 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 8 from behind the arc for Bol. He's really developing well. If the Phoenix have any type of future, he's likely going to be part of it. Nick Richards had a really good one in this one as well, 8 of 11 from the field, 19 points, 12 rebounds. Kevin Durant had 17 points, 3 steals, 6 assists, 7 of 10 shooting. Very efficient stuff from the Phoenix Suns there. Tyus Jones, 3 of 11 from the field, 3 of 8 from behind the arc, 9 points, 6 assists, 1 steal. And Devin Booker, 6 of 13, 3 of 9 from behind the arc for 17 points, 9 assists, and 1 steal. So Royce O'Neal came off the bench with 18 points there, 6 of 9 from behind the arc. All of his shots were threes. And Colin Gillespie had 4 or 5 from the field, 1 or 2 from behind the arc for 9 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds for the Phoenix Suns. Mason Plumlee, plus 25, led the whole team, 6 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. So that's really the gist of what you got from the Phoenix Suns in a winning effort. They just shot very well. 59% from the field for us, 47 of 79, and 52% from the three, 21 of 40. So when you consider that, it's tough to beat them. You know, the Pelicans didn't shoot all that bad. 11 of 28 from behind the arc, 39%, 50% from the field, 44 87. So you miss free throws, you hurt though. 9 of 15 for 60% for the Pellies. That's not good. 10 of 13 for the opposing Phoenix Suns in a winning effort. So both teams rebound the ball 35 times, but the Pelicans got 13 offensive boards, so we need to be careful with that. They only gave up 5 of them too, so that's pretty impressive, even though they lost. But then again, how many offensive rebounds do you expect Phoenix to have when they hardly miss? So there's that. 10 steals for the Pellies in this game, 6 for the Suns, 3 blocks for both teams. The Pellies gave up 24 points off of 17 turnovers. Actually, no, the Phoenix Suns did, excuse me. Phoenix did that. The Pellies forced 10 of those 17 turnovers with their steals, so that's pretty impressive. And the Pelicans gave up 17 points off of 15 turnovers, which is still not wonderful, but better than that Phoenix Suns team that ultimately still found a way to win the game. Pellies got them 58-38 in the paint, got them in the fast break 11-4. Pelicans tend to get out in the fast break. I'm seeing that trend here. So all things considered, the Pelicans could have won this game if the Suns wouldn't have been so damn hot. That's what it really comes down to. Pellies did not attempt enough three-point shots in this particular matchup to keep up with the volume and the hits of the Phoenix Suns. So before that, they of course played the Phoenix Suns. And in this one, they got the victory there. So Phoenix was able to get their get back from what this ultimately says to me. So now I'll let you know exactly how they won it. 124-116 was the score for the game, with the Pelicans ultimately shooting 48% from the field, 50 of 104 attempts. So that's crazy volume there. And then 17 of 47 from behind the arc. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns, in a losing effort, launched 53 three-point shots. Only hit 20 of them for 37%. So that's actually not bad when you consider the massive amounts of volume. 44 of 94 from the field for the Suns. Man, this pace must have been out of control with this game. Out of control when you look at all the shots that was put up. 8 of 10 from the free throw line for the Suns. 7 of 12 for the New Orleans Pelicans. 7 of 12, that's 58%. That is not very good. Still found a way to win, though, somehow. Both teams rebound the ball very well. 52 for the Suns, 50 for the Pellies. 16 offensive rebounds for the Pelicans, 14 for the Suns. And what you have is 11 turnovers for the Suns, 14 points off that. 6 turnovers for the Pellies, 9 points given up off that. So the Pelicans took care of the basketball in this one extremely well. Very impressive stuff. 58 points in the paints for the Pelicans. 21 fast break points for the Pelicans, 14 points in the fast break for the Suns, and only 34 points in the paint for the Suns. So they got crushed in the paint there, did Phoenix, and lost the basketball game because of it. So this had to be a fast-paced game. The Pelicans were up by as much as 18 points. So Phoenix did kind of cut it, but ultimately weren't able to do enough to beat New Orleans in this one. And so that's what I see there. Pelicans got out to a 35-point quarter in this one, ended the game with a 36-point quarter. So they just really had the Phoenix Suns defense number that night. So that's kind of how that went, man. That is exactly what we see there. Prior to that, they had 2 games with the Spurs. And since we're working backwards, we'll talk about the 109-103 victory they had against the Spurs. Let's see what the recap tells us. Essentially, Trigger went for 24 points in the win here. Shot 3 of 10 from behind the arc, 9 of 21 from the field, 24 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 4 assists, and 4 boards. Not great three-point shooting there, not at all. But he's going to attempt a lot. He's a great shooter, and he's going to find his way. Jordan Hawkins, 1 of 7 from behind the arc, also not great shooting there. 5 of 13 from the field for 12 points, 1 steal, 1 block, and 4 assists. 4 rebounds, rather. C.J. McCollum, 1 of 6 from behind the arc, 5 of 14 from the field, 13 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Yves Messi had a double-double, 10 and 11 with a block and a steal to go along with it. Zion had 18 points, steal, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds for 8 of 15 shooting. Very, very efficient. No threes attempted. 1 of 6 for Kelly Olynyk from the field, 0 of 2 from behind the arc. Quiet game, but he did rebound the ball rather well. 12 rebounds for Kelly O. 7 defensive, 5 offensive. 3 assists, a block, and a steal to go along with his 6 points. So what I see here is a Pelican team that found a way to win this game despite shooting horribly from behind the arc. And as I mentioned in the video that I made this morning, De'Aaron Fox is in a historic slump. He is not adjusting well to this San Antonio thing at all. He should have stayed himself in Sacramento, to be honest with you. And so that's what exactly the numbers tell me. He was 6 of 21 from the field, 1 of 9 from the 3. I don't even know why he's launching that many threes. 15 points, 6 steals, 6 turnovers, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds. So based on what I'm looking at, they had some cold players, but he basically shot his team out the game. That's what it looked like to me. Devin Vassell also didn't have that great of a night. 6 of 16 from the field, 2 of 6 from behind the arc for 20 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, and 5 rebounds. Bismack Biyombo had a double-double. That tell you where San Antonio is right now. Bismack Biyombo's out there playing enough minutes to get 12 rebounds, 4 of them offensive rebounds, 10 points, 5 and 7 from the field. Chris Paul had a pretty solid night, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from behind the arc for 12 points, 10 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. In a losing effort, Harrison Barnes, 15 points, 5 boards, 4 of 8 from behind the arc. That's pretty good. But Mamush Kelishvili shot poorly, 0 of 5 from behind the arc, 1 of 6 from the field, 2 points, a block, a steal, assist, and 1 rebound. Julian Champagnie, 1 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the arc. Jeremy Shohan's starting to get his stuff back in order. 6 of 11 from the field, 12 points, 2 blocks, 2 assists, and 9 rebounds. I think it's a good time to pick him up in fantasy. He's starting to ramp it up, and without Wemby out there, he's going to get playing minutes. So this is a great time for him. Keldon Johnson, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from behind the arc, 11 points, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. And Stephon Castle only had 12 minutes of play in this one, 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3, 4 points, 4 rebounds. I can never see a world where Stephon Castle only gets 12 minutes in a basketball game for a tanking franchise. He had to have gotten hurt or something. Foul trouble, maybe. I can't think of one good reason why he didn't get more than 12 minutes. Not one. But that's a whole nother story. The point is, San Antonio Spurs did lose this basketball game despite the Pellies shooting 22% from behind the arc, 7 of 31, which is craziness. I don't know how you win that way. But they did. They run on the boards, 54 to 45, 20 offensive rebounds for the Pelicans, which is also crazy when you consider it, for a million reasons. But, 23 points, fast breaks to the Spurs 5. That'll tell you that something went wrong there. 66 points in the paint to the Spurs 44. That also goes wrong for you if you're the Spurs. So, it was just a lot of meat and potato stats that the Pellies outplayed them in, despite just shooting significantly worse from behind the arc. They attacked them in the paint. They got to the line 25 times, hit 20 of them. And that's really where they beat the San Antonio Spurs. Rather strange type of win. But, that's just what happens when there's a lot of cold people at once and people aren't doing the dirty work. That's what that tells me. Pellies just have more people doing the dirty work. So, that's how that went. Before that, of course, they had to play, guess who? San Antonio Spurs. And they won that one, too. They won that game as well. I'll let you know, it was 114 to 96. They held the San Antonio Spurs at 96 points. So in this game, you essentially see Zion Williamson, 22 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 9 rebounds on 8 of 17 shooting from the field. You got Trigger Murphy going 6 of 16, and of course the usual 3 of 10 from behind the arc, 15 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk had a big game here. Although he had 5 turnovers, he did walk away with 14 points, 2 assists, and 15 rebounds, 5 of them offensive rebounds. CJ McCollum, 12 points, 4 turnovers, 7 assists, 3 rebounds on 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 4 of 11 from the field. Yves Messi, 3 of 9 from the field. 15 boards for Yves Messi. 6 offensive rebounds and 6 points to go along with that with an assist attached to it. So we got to keep Yves off the damn glass. Him, Kelly Olynyk, and Zion Williamson just completely rebound the ball like a madman against these Spurs. So does Jose Alvarado. Somehow they let Jose Alvarado almost get a triple-double in this game. 12 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds for Jose Alvarado. 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from behind the arc. I know Wemby's not out there. I get that. But how in the hell are they giving up this many boards? How did the Spurs give up this many rebounds to this Pelicans team? I don't quite understand it, but that's what happened. The Carlo guy had 19 points, 1 block, 1 assist, and 6 boards of his own on 8 of 9 shooting from the field, 1 of 2 from behind the arc. So keep an eye on the Carlo guy. And 1 of 5 from the field for Bruce Brown for 2 points, who is starting to play better. They're ramping up his minutes. He'll be better than that tonight. 10 points for Jordan Hawkins, 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 3 of 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 steal there. No assists for Jordan Hawkins. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the hell the Spurs let that happen. Harrison Barnes, 13 points, 1 block, 2 assists, 4 boards. Biyombo in this one had 10 rebounds, 10 and 10, 4 blocks, 2 steals. I mean, it's probably the best game he's had in years. That's the irony of it. Consider he had 4 blocks, 2 steals with a double-double. Bismack wasn't the problem. 4-6 from the field. He wasn't the problem. Chris Paul, 1 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. Jesus Christ. 4 points, 1 steal, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox, 3 of 16 from the field, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. Holy crap. 13 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 5 assists, 7 boards. It's awful. 1 of 9 for Devin Vassell from the field, 1 of 6 from behind the arc. 5 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. This is horrible. They really all in on the tank mission for San Antonio. They definitely wasn't about to let New Orleans steal this loss from them. 18 points for Julian Champagnie, 2 steals, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. Jeremy Sohan walked away with 4 points, a block, a steal, 3 assists, and 8 rebounds. Keldon Johnson had 18 points off the bench, 7 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. So he shot well. Charles Bassey, 4 points, 2 steals, 1 assist, 3 boards. A lot of garbage time. And, of course, Stephon Castle, 1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the arc, 2 points, 2 assists. Yo, the San Antonio Spurs had a historically terrible shooting night. That's what happened. They all decided together in unison to miss shots. I genuinely think that's what they're probably doing on purpose. It wouldn't be the first time I accused the Spurs of throwing games by missing shots. I used to say that Keldon Johnson used to do that on purpose when they were trying to get Wemby. Now Keldon Johnson in a game like this only misses 2 shots. Not surprising. Not surprising. This was a concerted effort to assure that the Pelicans did not lose this basketball game by the San Antonio Spurs. They shot 33% from the field, did the Spurs. 32 and 97. They had launched 51 threes and hit 15 of them. 29%. So, yeah. This is a tankaroo right here, man. The Pelicans, 42 of 94 for 44% from the field. 11 of 33 for 33% from behind the arc. And to make matters even worse, the San Antonio Spurs missed 8 free throws. 68%, 17 to 25. So they was trying to lose, man. You can't tell me otherwise. They were trying to lose. 69 boards for the Pellies, 46 for the Spurs. 17 offensive rebounds for the Pelicans, 13 for the Spurs. It's just horrific. It's horrific. 3 steals and 3 blocks for the Pellies. No defense played there. 11 steals, 7 blocks for the Spurs. So that's where they decided to put in a little effort. 10 turnovers. So 11 points conceded off of those turnovers for the Spurs. And 17 turnovers for the Pellies. 21 points conceded off of that for the Pellies. This is awful. I'm so glad I wasn't at this game or watched this crap. 58 points in the paint for the Pelicans. 34 points in the paint for the Spurs. 19 points in the fast break for both. 19 fouls for both. At one point, the Spurs were up by 17 points. At another point, the Pelicans were up by 21 points. Yo, this was awful, man. This was awful. I feel sorry for anybody that had to go to this game. This is terrible. What is this garbage, man? What is this garbage? That's what I have to say about that game. That is awful, man. Burn the tape. Dismantle both teams. I mean, that's awful. I don't know how you put that type of product even on television if you're the NBA. You want to take the NBA logo off of a basketball game like this. This is not professional basketball. So, that is what I have to say about the Pelicans. They played in probably the worst statistical game I've seen since I've been doing this. This is the worst statistical game I've seen since I've been doing this. And believe it or not, I actually watched highlights of the game before that, so I might as well go over it if you care. They lost to the Dallas Mavericks, who have since lost all of those players. None of those people are playing basketball at this point. But no, I kid a little bit, but not really. P.J. Washington played. He had 24 points, 2 steals, 3 assists. Kyrie Irving, prayers out to Kyrie. He had 35 and 4 in this one. Yeah, that's how that went. Max Christie played well, 16 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 4 boards. And Najee Marshall had a double-double with 15 points, 10 rebounds for the winning Dallas Mavericks. And the Pellies, 29 points for Zion, 29 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds. 11 of 15 from the field, no threes attempted. He's doing that thing, man. He's doing the Zubats thing, where he doesn't shoot any threes but doesn't miss any twos. That's what Zion's doing right now. Yves Missy, 3 of 8 from the field. 10 rebounds there, 6 points, 4 blocks for Yves. C.J. McCollum had 16 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, a block, and a steal on 6 of 16 shooting from the field, 2 of 8 from behind the arc. And Trigger Murph shot 50% from the 3, 4 of 8, 7 of 19 from the field, 20 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, 6 boards. Jose Alvarado chipped in off the bench with 8 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, and 7 boards. How much you want to bet Jose stole an inbound on one of them damn threes in Dallas? He probably did. Carlo Guy had 9 points, 1 block, 1 assist, 5 rebounds, and 3 of 6 shooting from the field. And Bruce Brown, 2 of 7 from the field, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Hawkins walked away with 5 points, 5 rebounds in this one as well. So, yeah, this is the lowly Dallas Mavericks before things completely fell off a cliff for them. They shot 36% from the 3, 21 of 27. Does that make any sense? Hell no, that's 77%. I'm looking at the wrong stat. That is 77% for the free throw line. 16 of 44 for the 36%. And 37 of 86 for 43% from the field. So that's how that actually went. 41% from the field for the Pellies, 38 of 92. And the Pelicans shot 8 of 27 from the 3, 29% from there. 53 rebounds to 47. The Pelicans won the boards again. They win all the boards all the nights. That's what I've learned about all 6 of these games. They ain't lost the boards yet, unless I'm miscalculating something I'm looking at. But they've been beating everybody in the paint, and they've beaten everybody on the boards. 53, 47, 14 offensive rebounds to 8 for the Dallas Mavericks. And, of course, they killed them in the paint, 56 to 36. Just like I said, they're killing everybody in the paint. They're also doing good things in the fast break, 22 points to 10 for the Dallas Mavericks. So, in spite of all of that, they still managed to lose. They do the dirty work stuff, y'all. The meat and potatoes, the punch to the gut type stuff that you do, the running the ball stuff, the Pelicans are doing those things. What they're not doing is shooting very well. 14 turnovers for both teams, giving up 18, points given up for the Pellies in those conceded off turnover points, and then 14 given up by the Mavericks. So yeah, man, that's what I want to tell people. Like the Pelicans, if you let them, they will run the ball on you. They will punch you in the stomach. They're not looking for the swing to hit you in the head, but they will punch you in the stomach. That's the equivalent of what it is that they ultimately are pretty solid at, from player to player, it seems. So my concern with the Pelicans is that they're just not going to shoot enough three-point shots on a given night to actually give themselves a chance to win. But they do the stuff that if you do shoot enough, you do win. That's what I've learned with looking at their stats over the last 6 games. So we need to be very careful with them, because if they decide to shoot the ball, for which they have the Hawkins and the CJs and the Triggers, if they want to launch 53s and they rebound the ball well and they get out in the fast break, although those two things kind of don't coincide very much, you're probably going to have trouble with them because they're really genuinely capable. And with them starting to get Bruce Brown playing better, Kelly Olynyk's taking on a bigger role, Jordan Hawkins starting to shoot a little better, you see the progression from the beginning of the stats from which I talked about working backwards with the Utah game to how poorly they were playing but still finding ways to win against the Spurs. So this is a New Orleans Pelicans team to where you believe that as a franchise they want to tank, so it seems like they may be structuring opportunities to shoot less than maybe they should, but they have the shooting talent to not do that And if they decide they want to win and they want to launch 53 threes, they're more than capable of doing that. So that's what we learned, man. This Pelicans team, 17-44, they probably want a high pick, to say the least. They probably want to win the lottery, man. And losing this game will go a long way in doing that. But just for the sake of some of the guys on their team that probably don't want to be a part of a tanking situation, you could totally see them stumbling into playing well and forcing you, a hobbled basketball team, into a tough, close basketball game. So that's kind of what I expect. I expect for this to be a tough game without Austin, without Rui, without Jordan Goodwin. Maybe we rest Luka or Bron. One of the two may rest. Who knows? At this point, it didn't say anything like that. But you just feel like this is going to be a much tougher game, especially if we don't take them seriously, man. It's going to be a much tougher game than we expect it to be. So that's what I'm expecting. And look, Jose Alvarado is going to try to steal an inbound. Okay? I mean, I can't stress this enough. Every single time we see the Pellies, the first thing I want anyone to ever think about is Jose Alvarado coming off the bench looking to steal an inbound. He's going to look to do it. So be ready for it. At any rate, the Lakers are going to be wearing their yellows tonight, random Tuesday night at home, so it's good to see us wear our actual home uniforms. And the Pelicans will be wearing their Crescent City red jerseys. I would like to show those to you. Give me a second. But, they're standard red jerseys. Far cry from what we've been seeing for the last 4 games, since everybody we've played pretty much wears navy blue. We've been beating the hell out of all the navy blue teams in the league pretty much over the last 2 weeks. So that's what it is for them. Of course, you know what it is for us. Luka the Don, LeBron James, hopefully they suit up. We had a good time beating up on the Clippers despite having everybody out. As long as those two are suiting up, you can have 3 plumbers next to them and still have a great chance of winning the game. So that's really what I'm starting to understand. Just 3 scrappy defensive playing plumbers, and Luka the Don, LeBron James could probably beat an average NBA team on any given night. It's the truth. And so hopefully that's pretty much what the equivalent will be to what we have tonight. And hopefully that'll be enough, man. But, yeah, man. Like I said, random night. This is one of the games you got to tell yourself to wake up for if you're the Lakers, especially looking at their record. But if you're a thorough enough pro, for which I know our team is, and you're detail-oriented, you understand that the Pelicans could potentially have more talent in the 3 to 9, 10 player spot than you're going to be running on the floor tonight with your injury issues and with their improvements upon their roster and getting healthier. So we got to be smart in how we approach this team, or just simply put a loss next to your name and get ready for the Knicks, because that's all there is to this. If we don't take them seriously tonight, I do expect the Pelicans to beat us. BDL 44, I thank you all for watching. Out.